right? Like Gunnar Nelson is kind of like he's like a bald Sasquatch. He just appears out of the woods every now and then.
All right, welcome to another episode of Two Fight Fans. We talk about combat sports. I'm one fight fan, Collin.
Oi, oi, bruv. I'm the other Stuart.
Jesus God.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. We're talking about UFC London. We're talking about an actually good card. The UFC is
Yeah.
trying. They're going on the road because the UFC Apex cards have sucked. And if anyone comes at me being like, there were 9 finishes at the last UFC Apex card, telling me how many stunts are in a movie doesn't make it a good movie. Do you understand what I'm saying? Telling me how many fucking forks you put on the side of my plate for my entree doesn't make it a good meal. Do you know what I'm saying? You're like identifying the wrong thing, and you've got me twisted for somebody who's an idiot. So let's not do this anymore. Anyway, UFC London. It's a good card. Colin, you and I are gonna make picks.
Yes,
Let's start
we
with the main
are.
event.
All right, all right. Well, give me your pick here. What do you say is going to happen
Oh shit!
between?
I go first. I thought you were going first.
Oh no, I'm picking first for the 3 wild cards.
Okay. So we've got Leon Edwards. We've got Sean Brady.
Yeah, tell me something about Sean Brady. I don't know much about him.
What?
Yeah,
All right.
who was his last fight? Oh, Gilbert Burns. Oh wait, no, I did see him fight Gilbert Burns. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 things you need to know about Sean Brady. His striking is bad enough to where he can be outstruck by Bilal Muhammad. I would call Sean Brady. I would call Sean Brady kind of like a Kroger brand, Kirkland brand, Bilal Muhammad.
All right. A
But with
Kirkland Land, Bilal Muhammad.
Yeah,
Damn.
but with 2 very important caveats. Number 1, supposedly, from everyone who trains with Sean Brady, the motherfucker has got strength like a gorilla. Like, he will wrench you off the cage with no technique just because that boy can lift plates. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Bilal Muhammad, a little less technique, but a lot more horsepower. Kind of what we're understanding.
Okay.
Number 2, he might legitimately be, other than Gilbert Burns, the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu grappler in the welterweight division.
Really?
Like, actually very well pedigreed. Gilbert Burns had said in losing that fight how surprised he was at Sean Brady's positioning when it comes to submissions. Like, a very good grappler.
All right.
So, here's the question. Leon Edwards, we know, very skilled. Former champion, was able to stuff a lot of Kamaru Usman's takedowns. Could not stuff a lot of Bilal Muhammad's takedowns. I think that's primarily because Bilal Muhammad scouted him well and had adjusted his takedown game to highlight insufficiencies in Leon Edwards' takedown defense. Sean Brady, maybe not as smart. He's from Philly. We don't hold that against him, but he's got more horsepower. Can he replicate what Bilal Muhammad did to Leon Edwards? And Leon Edwards kind of has the Magomed Ankalaev mindset, which is like, I'm winning, I won't try hard, and then allows his opponents to come back and win rounds against him, right? We saw that against Nate Diaz, where like, I'm winning the stand-up fight, and then Nate Diaz rocks him, and Nate Diaz takes the 5th round, right? Like, Leon Edwards is very much I just want to win the round. I don't care about like finishing or dominating, right? When you're fighting a big man from Philly who has a lot of strength and very good jiu-jitsu, is that a bad idea? I don't know. Because I know Leon Edwards is a much more skilled fighter than Sean Brady, but Leon Edwards definitely has donkey brains. And if I'm going to have donkey brains, a giant muscular man from Philly is not who I want to have it against. So I'm actually very torn about this. This is one of the most challenging fights I think we can call, because Sean Brady, a lot of people compare him to Bilal Muhammad with just a little bit more strength. And it's like, is that going to be enough to beat Leon Edwards? Because Leon Edwards like beat the piss out of Bilal Muhammad the first time they fought, and then seemed to kind of have like major donkey brains and, like, give up, be like, "I don't even care," in his loss.
Mhm.
So, will he be reignited by that loss? Will he be more focused? I kinda have no idea. I If I go for Brady or if I go for Edwards, it'll be like he won't have donkey brains, which is a hard thing to bet. But if I
Yeah,
go for Brady, it's saying, I think your lack of skill will be made up just by your physical attributes.
just by grit. Yeah.
Yeah. And I hate that.
I know, that is, like, the opposite pick for you.
Yeah, so I have to go with just the skill will win the fight. And I'm going to say Leon Edwards by decision.
Okay. Alright. That's
But
that
here's the thing, I wouldn't be surprised if Sean Brady takes Leon Edwards down and Leon Edwards rolls his eyes at the camera and just survives and doesn't do anything to get up or sweep or change position. But here's the thing, Sean Brady did get outstruck by Bilal Muhammad, and Bilal Muhammad's striking is, like, actually bad.
Mhm.
So, like, I could see Leon Edwards, like, absolutely sniping Sean Brady in, like, 2 rounds.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna say Leon Edwards. I'm gonna say decision.
Yep.
The full caveat is I kinda have no idea, though. This is a very weird crossroads, right? What I think this will look like, though, is for a fight that is so difficult to call and is so close, I think whoever wins, it'll make it look like, "Oh, of course, that's how it would look." Like, how could
Mm.
like, Leon Edwards will either, like, kick Sean Brady in the head in, like, a minute and a half and kill him, or Sean Brady will just, like, maul him for 25 minutes. You know what I mean? And at the end of the fight, everyone will be saying, "Well, of course, how could anyone think the other person was supposed to win?" Right? Either way, whoever wins will make it look easy. I
Mhm.
think that's kind of my overall gamble, and I think I'm gonna go with Leon Edwards because
Okay.
I've seen him do that at a higher level. Yeah.
Okay. And you just said, like, it finishing in a way like, "Oh, yeah, how else would" it's like Leon Edwards head kicking him in the first or second round. Why don't you say that?
Why don't I pick that?
Yeah.
How many finishes does Leon Edwards have in his
Oh,
his career?
like 3?
Yeah. Yeah. He never finishes anyone fucking ever. Uh, not even Gunnar Nelson, who we'll talk about a little bit later. Couldn't even finish Gunnar Nelson. You know what I mean? But, like, at the same time, I feel like he'll. I I I don't know. I just feel like either way, it'll look so clear. Like, of course, Sean Brady wasn't ready for Leon Edwards, or if, like, of course, Leon Edwards is going to lose to Sean Brady. He's just, Kirkland brand Bilal Muhammad. Of course, it's going to win, right? Like, that's so. I think it's going to be a decision. Leon Edwards. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That I mean, I do think that I was gonna pick Edwards as well by decision,
Mhm,
and I did think it was gonna be kind of a tepid and almost, like, boring main event.
mhm.
Like, it's
Yeah.
gonna be very, like, feinty and, like, Brady maybe, like, shooting but not be able to get the takedown, and it's, like, them just backing away. It's gonna be very low output as well.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, low output, it makes sense. It could be a snoozer. I mean, most Leon Edwards fights kind of are snoozers, is kind of the thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He's like Magomed on Goliath, right? It's like they're so skilled, but they just clearly don't have the brain for winning a fight. Right? Like they don't have, and I mean that like very genuinely. I don't mean it like derogatorily. I mean like when you need to have a sense of urgency, when you need to be pushing your advantages, when you need to be trying new things, when you need to be taking things away from your opponent. They don't have that sort of strategic thinking. They're just like, I'm so technically skilled. I'm just going to do whatever I'm going to do and I won't make adjustments. And if it doesn't work, I'll just kind of go like, bummer town, right? Like I won't fight back for it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Leon Edwards is like like absolutely beating from pillar to post Nate Diaz and just let Nate Diaz hang around to the fifth round.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he nearly got knocked out, right? Like it just it's same thing with like Bilal Muhammad. It was like Leon Edwards would get taken down and they just like wouldn't fight for position very hard. He would just go like, bummer, I lost position. And it's
Mhm.
like you have to have urgency. You have to know that you need to fight for every inch across this fight. And he just doesn't have that. And Ankalaev doesn't have that. There are other fighters that don't have it as well. And it's just like that's the difference between like Leon Edwards as a champion and Pantoja. Pantoja will be routinely losing 3 minutes of every round, and then in the last 2 minutes comes storming back because he understands I have to win these last 2 minutes to try to swing this round.
Mhm. Yeah.
And Leon Edwards will win 4.5 minutes and then give up horrendously the last 30 seconds and lose a round. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Anyway, an interesting fight, though, because if
Yeah.
Edwards can beat Brady, it shows like he's on the road to beating Bilal. And if Brady wins, we get a rematch between Bilal and Brady. And that's
Yeah.
interesting. So, all good. All good
All
in my
right.
book.
Okay. Okay.
All right. It's light heavyweight.
Yeah.
Collin,
Yeah.
what do you want to say about Jan Blachowicz and Carlos Ulberg?
I honestly, I didn't know Jan Blachowicz was still fighting. Like,
Oh, no. Come now.
he hasn't fought. He hasn't fought in a year and a half. The last time he fought was against Alex Pereira.
That's true. That's true. Now, Collin, he did blow out both of his shoulders and he double shoulder surgery.
Yeah. That's
Not great. Not great, Bob.
no, man. Like,
No. Not great. But on the flip side, Collin, what is Carlos Ulberg good at?
well, according to this, knocking people out. I guess I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't like. I honestly like. I'm trying to think about some of his other fights, and they like his most recent one against Volkan Ozdemir that we talked about. I have no memory of, and it wasn't even that long ago. It was like 5 months ago.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad fight.
Yeah.
Now, Collin, he's good at knocking people out. Who is he knocked out?
Yeah. I'm looking through this, and no one I know.
Yeah. Alonso Menifield, Potieria, Nega Marunu. Well, all right, that's not a real fighter. Like, so here's my thing. Carlos Ulberg, is he an attractive man? Sure. Is he smoking? Yeah, I agree. But he basically throws a 1-2 for
Okay.
about a minute and a half,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then he proceeds to be a shitty light heavyweight.
Okay. Okay.
Now, if he hits you in that first minute and a half, he will knock you out with that 1-2, right?
Yeah.
But if you can avoid it for a minute and a half, he's going to be a shitty middleweight or light
Okay.
heavyweight.
All right. All right.
Jan Blachowicz is pretty good at not getting hit. And Jan Blachowicz is pretty good if you give him 13 and a half minutes to beat you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've never seen Jan Blachowicz with double shoulder surgery fight,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I did see him take Alex Pereira to a decision. I
Okay.
did see him take a draw with the current champion. I did see him beat. Who did he beat for the title? I saw him beat Rakic. I saw him beat Israel Adesanya. I saw him beat Dominic Reyes. So I've seen him like beat people.
Yes. Yes, you have.
I've not really seen Carlos Ulberg beat people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's fair.
So who are you picking?
You make a very compelling argument for Jan Blachowicz, but
Mhm.
I'm concerned about the fact that Jan Blachowicz has not fought in a year and a half. He's coming off
Yeah.
double shoulder surgery, and he's 42.
He do be old as shit. That is true.
That's tough, man.
Mhm.
I love me Jan Blachowicz, but I don't know, man. This is one of those things where for me it's I know you got to trust the old horse, but sometimes that horse can't run no more. And I'm gonna say again, most of these picks I don't know a lot about. I'm gonna say Carlos Olberg though by decision.
Okay. Can you tell me how many times Jan Blachowicz has been knocked down? Not knocked out, just knocked down.
Mm, I don't know. Has he been knocked down?
He's been
Twice?
knocked down once in 2016
Ah.
by Alexander Gustafsson.
Ooh, really?
Before Gustafsson fought. Now, here's the question: had he already fought DC at that time? Anyway, he's pretty hard to knock down.
Yeah.
Carlos Olberg mostly only wins if he can knock people down.
Mhm.
Jan Blachowicz also, when fighting Ankalaev, was able to kick shin to shin, which has nothing to do with your shoulders, plastigate Ankalaev's legs.
Yeah.
I got a feeling we're gonna see the lumberjack Jan Blachowicz come through and
All right.
Carlos Olberg. I'm gonna pick Jan Blachowicz.
Nice.
I'm gonna say by decision. Overall, I think Carlos Olberg is not going to be able to knock him out. Maybe he'll knock him down in the first round.
Okay.
But rounds, at least 2 of the 3, Jan Blachowicz is going to chew Carlos Olberg up because it turns out Carlos Olberg kind of sucks. Yeah. So I'm gonna pick the old war horse to come through and
Okay.
do what he does. Yeah.
All right.
Jan
All right.
Blachowicz by decision.
Okay. Okay.
All right, Collin, you're gonna go first on finish of the night. What
Yeah.
fight do you think will go to a finish?
Oh man, there's a lot of like potential here. I feel like. But see, now I have to be smart. I have to pick something that I think you will also pick. Because when I pick this one, you can't pick it for your finish.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Gunnar Nelson and Kevin Holland.
Ooh, okay.
Because here's my thing. I think no matter what, it's gonna end in a finish. But it's either gonna be Kevin Holland having donkey brains and going to the ground with Gunnar Nelson, where apparently Gunnar Nelson just submits everyone. Or Kevin Holland's going to use his ridiculous Spider-Man reach and knock out Gunnar Nelson.
Interesting. Yeah.
I don't know which one's going to happen, though.
Yeah. What do you think this fight looks like? Because this is true. Like, we haven't seen Gunnar Nelson since 2023.
Yep.
Yep. And then he fought in 2022 before that, and then 2019. Right? Like, Gunnar Nelson is kind of like he's like a bald Sasquatch. He just appears out of the woods every now and then.
Yeah.
It's very cool when he does. We're all excited for Gunnar. But this is a baffling fight. What do you think this looks like?
That's the thing. I think this fight, if Kevin Holland can be disciplined, big if, and not have donkey brains, and not do something like where he just willingly goes down to the ground, does not fight off a takedown or submission, like it is very like disciplined with his striking, I think he can easily cruise to a decision or knock out Gunnar Nelson. Like he is that much more dynamic and that much more just like his striking is wild with his range, you know, and his height or his size. But he has had many a moment where he's just like, whatever. I don't really care about if I win or lose. I just want to fight. Yeah, we'll go down here. We'll go to this. We'll do this thing, you know. And sometimes it's worked out, you know, like him going to the ground with Jacare Souza. I was like, oh no, don't go down there. And then he knocked him out from the bottom. Like, I don't know how, you know. So will that happen every time? Probably not, which is why I'm thinking this will go. One of them will finish the other. And it's just a matter of can Holland stay disciplined enough, or is he going to put himself in dangerous positions with Gunnar Nelson?
What is the submission or the finish you think will happen here?
Some sort of choke if Gunnar Nelson gets it.
Got it.
Like rear naked choke, or even like a Darce or something.
You think it'll be a finish via Gunnar for a choke? I
would lean towards that.
Okay.
Do I get a point if it just ends in a finish
Yeah,
regardless
if
of who
it
did
just
this?
so if it ends in a finish, you get a point. If you
Okay.
select KO or submission, regardless of who gets it, that's another point. And then if you get the right person, that's another. So it's up to 3 points. If you say Kevin
Got
Holland
it.
submission, like that counts, right?
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it is interesting, right? Because it's like Kevin Holland has been giving up submissions really easily recently. Like it
Yep.
seems like he just kind of like lets them happen. But Gunnar Nelson has never had very good takedowns. Gunnar Nelson's 4 inches
Yeah.
shorter, has a 9-inch reach disadvantage, and is significantly older than Kevin Holland, and
How
hasn't
much
fought
older
in
is he?
2 years. I think Gunnar Nelson is like close. Gunnar Nelson is 36,
Okay.
and wow, that's actually not too old.
No.
Let's see, Kevin Holland. Kevin Hall or Gunnar Nelson also doesn't cut weight, where Kevin
Yep.
Holland cuts down from 185, so he's much bigger. And Kevin Holland is 32, so only 4-year difference, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because Gunnar Nelson was like fighting when Conor McGregor was just coming up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what a wild. I'm interested to see Gunnar again. Like, all signs point to Kevin Holland being able to either snipe him with a 9-inch reach advantage
Yeah.
and knocking him out, and probably being able to out grapple him, just being a bigger guy. But I don't know, dude. Gunner's crafty. I'm pulling for Gunner.
Mhm.
I like Gunner, but what a weird fight. Just a
Yeah.
weird name they pulled out of nowhere.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. We have to depend on Kevin Holland not falling into the trap that he does, so
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, he's almost got more losses than Gunnar Nelson has wins. You know what I mean? Like he's got a lot more experience. Now,
yeah.
he does seem checked out as fuck, but like
Yeah.
he can, if you don't come correct, like he will snatch something up.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. All right. I think a good call. Definitely an interesting fight. I am like very interested in that fight overall.
Yeah.
All right. Finish. Well, let's just go to the curtain jerker for the whole fucking card. Guram Kutateladze versus Caio Fernandez. Look,
All
Guram
right.
Kutateladze is a minus 425 favorite. He's gonna work Caio Fernandez like a summer job. You know what I mean? He's gonna smoke him like a brisket. It's gonna be nasty. Guram Kutateladze, Abraham Lincoln, the assassin. He should probably knock him out. Pretty easily. I'll say second round knockout. Guram Kutateladze is like a absolutely phenomenal striker who should have broken through much earlier. He typically goes to a decision because he's like a very good technical striker, but I think there's
Mhm.
no reason he shouldn't be able to knock out Kai Fernandez. Like
Okay.
this has got to happen.
Nice.
Yeah, Guram Kutateladze TKO. Yeah,
All
that's what
right.
I say.
Okay.
All right. Decision. Who do you think is going to go to a decision? And you've got lots of options in this one, buddy.
Yeah, I do. I really do. I'm going with the Shauna Bennett and Pooja Tomar
Oh
women's strawweight
no.
fight. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
I mean, you're probably right. It's might be the two worst fighters the UFC has. So probably, yeah, it's gonna
yeah,
go to a decision. That's a bummer, man. That's a
that
bummer.
is. It really is. Like,
Yeah. 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 That's that bums me out. I'm bummed out. That bums me out. Yeah. All right. God damn. I will pick. I, uh, I'll pick. I'll say the Jai Herbert Chris Padilla fight.
oh, okay.
Um, yeah, kind of a funky one. Jai Herbert has had finishes, but he just won a decision. His last two fights were decisions. Um, Actually, last 4 fights were a decision, overall. And then Chris Padilla is also a kind of a decision machine, uh, overall. So, like, I'll say yeah, I'll say it'll be a decision for the
Okay.
Shakur Chris Padilla fight.
All
Alright.
right. All right.
Underdog pick. What
Yeah.
do you got?
Hmm. Not too sure on this one. Um, I don't know. This is I don't know. I've got two possible ones.
Okay, lay it on me.
Okay. One, the heavyweight fight, Mick Parkin, because it's heavyweight and anything.
That's a good call, right? And
Yeah,
Mick
yeah.
Parkin is the main training partner of Tom Aspinall.
Oh, is he?
He is.
Really? Okay. Okay.
I mean,
All
he's
right.
got the body of an IT worker, so, like, play with that if you will.
Yeah, yeah. You
And
gotta support that too.
yeah?
Um, I think I don't know why, but I'm just going with it. I'm interested in this fight because I know nothing about them, and it's in the division that I love. I think I'm gonna go with Felipe dos Santos
Felipe dos Santos
in
is
flyweight. I
oh,
don't know
dude.
anything about either one of these
Yeah, no,
fuckers.
you're fucked, you're fucked. Loner Kavanaugh, we'll talk
Is he
about Loner
that good?
Kavanaugh.
All
Oh,
right,
dude,
tell
he's
me.
he's very, very good. Keep an eye on, like, Loner Kavanaugh, like, he's not quite Josh Van level, but this is a guy who has phenomenal, very smart, very, like, technical striking,
Okay,
on
okay.
display, very good takedown defense, very good, like I mean, like, the 3 things when you see, like, a young fighter that you really want is, like, are they throwing their punches correctly? Are they returning to their guard, right? Are they, like, throwing combinations in intelligent patterns overall, which he
Mhm.
definitely does. Does he get overexcited, right? Does he, like, start having his head go out over his feet and, like, lunging forward? No, he, like, sits back. He's very patient overall. And then, like, when actually doing defense, does he overreact? Does he, like, the second somebody throws back at him, does he, like, back up 10 feet or does he stay right in the pocket and just, like, I'll just lean a little bit? Loner Kavanaugh does all of these things in spades. He's phenomenal. He is
All
very
right.
calm under pressure. He throws fantastic combinations. He has good technique. Loner Kavanaugh is a stud. Like, he's not quite Josh Fan level, but, like, in 2 or 3 fights we could be like, "Oh, he's just like Josh Fan." Right? He might be that fucking good. So
All right.
Felipe Dos Anjos is about to get I mean, homeboy's about to get worked, and it's about to be a bad time for Felipe Dos Anjos. Loner
All right.
Kavanaugh.
Dude, both of these fuckers are 24 and 25. Like, goddamn. But
Yeah, man.
also, Felipe Dos Santos trains at Shoot the Box, so I gotta root for him. I'm a
Yeah,
big fan of Shoot the Box, so
uh, Loner Kavanaugh, very good.
okay.
Very
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited.
yeah.
I'm liking it. I'm down.
Keep an eye on him. So you're about to lose on that. And the real answer for like best underdog to pick, which other than maybe Jan Blachowicz and Kevin Holland, who I would pick, is if we got to go somewhere else on the card. Listen, man, Nathaniel Wood. All you
Oh, yeah, yeah.
motherfuckers be forgetting about Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood is an absolute stud. He is phenomenal. And, like, look, did he lose to Naimov? Sure, but other than that, he's been absolutely killing it at 145. And Morgan Charrier, what has he done? Hmm, he's had, like, a couple of impressive knockouts against nobodies. So
Mhm.
how impressive is that? Nah, Nathaniel Wood is gonna take this against
All
Morgan
right.
Charrier. Nathaniel Wood is, I mean, another amazing, sneakily good featherweight that isn't even in the rankings because featherweight is the division of kings, and it's so hard to break into the top 15. Nathaniel Wood is gonna he'll take this one. Mark my words. So you're about to
Great.
lose heavily on your underdog pick, and I'm gonna win quite handedly with my underdog pick.
All right, all right. But since my underdog is a almost 300 underdog,
Oh
do I
yeah,
get bonus points for if he
yeah.
wins?
You'll get 3 points, and I'll only get
Oh.
2 if mine wins because I'm
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right, all right.
So We've talked about the main event, Leon Edwards, Sean Brady. We went, who knows? We went Jan Blachowicz, Carlos Oberg. Depends on if Jan Blachowicz's arms hold up. Gunnar Nelson, Kevin Holland. I mean, it's the strangest fight that's happened in 2025. Nathaniel Wood, Morgan Charrier. I think Nathaniel Wood, Morgan Charrier will be fight of the night. I think
Okay.
that good of a fight. Anything else on the main event you want to talk about? You want to talk about Molly McCann and Alessia Shithanara?
So Alessia Thanara,
Yeah.
according to the UFC, is 1-0.
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah.
what?
Well, Molly McCann is like a big star, and they don't want her losing anymore because what she had a bad loss against Aaron Blanchfield. Like they don't and Stolyarenko. Like they don't want that anymore. So they're gonna feed Molly McCann as many cans as they can. You know, what I mean? That's the goal.
Damn.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bad fight. Jordan Wojcicki and Chris Duncan. Who gives a shit? Nathaniel Wood already beat. Here's the thing: Nathaniel Wood already beat Jordan Wojcicki like 2 fights ago. So like,
Mhm.
why the fuck is he below that guy?
Because
Like,
he's lighter weight than
I
him.
guess by 1 weight class, but Nathaniel Wood's a stud. Anyway, the Jai Herbert fight's good. Loner Kavanaugh, I've already
Yep.
gushed about him. He's dude, flyweight. It's good eating at flyweight right now, and Loner Kavanaugh is great. This heavyweight fight should suck ass. The Sean Bannon Puja Tamar fight, only because Collin is bet on it. Will I watch it? But whoever loses this fight, I think definitively is the worst fighter in the
Oh
UFC.
man,
No, you
brutal.
gotta watch it now. You've bet on this fight, and you tell me
All
if
right, all
you
right.
think of any fighter worse than whoever loses this fight.
Oh shit, it's at 10 a.m. too.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad, Colin.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be a bad time. Who gives a fuck about Nathan Fletcher and Coughlin Loughran? Guram Kutsujaladze, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Love it. Let's do it. Very cool. It's a good card. It's a good card overall.
Oh, and he also beat Vucinic and is what the fuck?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Guram Kutsujaladze fucking he rips. He's great. Yeah, he beat Vucinic. He did lose to Brenner. He lost to Ismagulov, which is a bummer that we lost to Ismagulov. But Kutsujaladze beat Gamrot when they first both came into the UFC.
Wow.
Yeah,
Back
and
in
Mateusz
2020,
Gamrot's
yeah.
number 6, and Kutsujaladze is not ranked.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit. And Ismagulov, Damir Ismagulov was supposed to be another one of these guys that like took over the division, but he had a health issue and then retired, and then the UFC
Oh.
cut him, and so now he fights for like some Russian organization. But like both of those dudes were absolutely phenomenal strikers.
Mm.
Yeah. So as long as because Guram Kutsujaladze never like actually makes it to fights, he's pulled out of more fights than I think he's actually had in the UFC. But if he makes it to this fight, the dude's phenomenal. You
All
will
right.
enjoy watching him. He is. I mean, just look at him. Like he looks like an Amish man who's come to take your kids, take your wife. Like he's coming for it. Pretty cool. Anyway, UFC London, very good. A pretty like weird good card.
Yeah. Now, since
Overall.
we're doing this super early, what is the likelihood that one of our picks just gets canceled because of whatever reason?
Well, definitely the Guram Kutsujaladze fight. Me picking that, probably 99% is gonna get canceled. Your Sean Abandon Puja Tomar. It doesn't matter who they swap in because they'll endlessly swap that in. That fight will still happen.
Okay.
Heavyweight never gets canceled. The Loner Kavanaugh Felipe dos Santos might. Besides that, I think it'll probably be fine.
All right.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a chance, but pretty rare, I'd say. We're not dealing with crazy. Nothing crazy. No, mine is more fucked than yours if anything goes wrong. So yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, listen. This has been Two Fight Fans podcast. I'm a fight steward.
I'm your other Colin.
The UFC London card is good, and then after that, it's not as good, and then we'll come back and like whatever. The UFC doesn't give a shit. We shouldn't give a shit. They're gonna go to Netflix. Did you see this thing where they're like their pay per view numbers are in the shitter so bad the people that have pay-per-view points on their contract aren't even getting paid out because the pay-per-view sells.
Whoa, what? No way.
Yeah. That's been like a major issue over the past 6 months. Is
Oh
people on
God.
pay-per-view cards? Yeah. So the UFC is apparently very heavily going towards Netflix and moving away from the pay-per-view model, so that they
Oh,
can just have slop churned out just on the regular. No need to actually put people in seats. No need to actually like drum up interest for a actual time slot. It can just be kind of endless pay-per-view or not pay-per-view, endless streaming stuff. So, um, it might get a lot worse, people. It might get a lot worse. Anyway, UFC 313 should be pretty good though, right?
314?
314, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this London card should be good. The London card should be good, right? If nothing, fucking Gunnar Nelson will walk out of the woods like fuck Squatch, and we'll just go, wow, look at him. And he'll just walk into the cage and do his weird little thing, and we'll go, wow, that was so cool to see. And then we'll have to wait till the next eclipse for him to come back out. And that'll be kind of cool to talk about. Where we're like, oh, I was all there in 2025 when the eclipse happened, and Gunnar Nelson fought Kevin Holland. Right? That'll be a fun story to tell everyone. We will get an answer to who the worst fighter in the UFC is when Sean Bannon and Pooja, whoever the fuck, fight. And Collin will get to see Loner Kavanaugh. We'll all get a gush over
Yeah.
him. And Nathaniel Wood being cool. And we will get the answer of can you still be a top 5 light heavyweight even with 2 shoulders that don't function? Because the answer might be yes. Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.